Are you new to swimming and have you tried to master the art of breathing to both sides, also known as bilateral breathing? Or have you been told it's extremely important for your swimming success to do that? In this video, I'm going to give you 2 reasons why I don't want you to worry about breathing to both sides as a beginner. And in turn, I'm going to give you a secret to skyrocket your swimming performance. I'm Siska. Welcome to the channel. When you're new to swimming, there's all kinds of things that you need to worry about, and bilateral breathing is not one of them. Before we really get into the depth of this, I want you to take a look at this video. Here we're looking at the greatest swimmer of all time, Michael Phelps, and I want you to pay attention to his method of breathing. He's taking a breath to one side and he's doing it every single stroke, and this is because he's going a hard effort right here and he needs the air. Let's look from the top. He's taking that breath, but just because he's breathing to one side doesn't mean he's not equally rotating back to the other side. That extension that he's getting on the breath, he's putting it back in when he breathes to that one side. There's a big misconception among new swimmers that bilateral breathing to both sides, is something that is a must when it comes to swimming. They think that this is the way you're supposed to swim freestyle. As you saw in that video, and I want to tell you right now, bilateral breathing is more of just a drill. The 2 main purposes of breathing to both sides is when it's a drill, it's to help even out your stroke so that what you do on one side, you equally do it to the other. But you can also do this when you just breathe to one side. Just because you're breathing to one side doesn't mean that you shouldn't equally rotate back to the other. Actually, it's a must that you rotate back to the other. You can have a completely even stroke by breathing just to one side. The other purpose of breathing to both sides is it's hypoxic. It's training your lungs. So when you really get into the depth of swim training, you want to have sets where you do breathe every 3, breathe every 5, breathe every 7, so that you can increase your lung capacity. But these are the main purposes of bilateral breathing. When you're new to swimming, you need to focus on breathing as much as possible. And also when you're in a race, I've seen guys that I've worked with, triathletes, that when they're racing, they're trying to bilateral breathe, and that's just crazy. When you're racing, you need to breathe as much as possible, just like we saw in that video earlier. As a beginner, the number 1 reason I don't recommend it is for what we just talked about. It is tiring. Guys, when you have so much to think about when you're learning how to swim, you're trying to keep yourself afloat, you want to stop your legs from sinking, you're trying to catch your breath without trying to get too overtired. Guys, when you're in the beginning, just focus on breathing to one side. We all have a side that is more dominant, including myself, and that never leaves you. You want to develop that dominant side so that you can become more comfortable in the water quicker. The second reason is that bilateral breathing, if learned as a beginner, can actually hinder your stroke development. I've had people come to me in training that they first learned how to bilateral breathe before they learned how to breathe normal when they were learning how to swim freestyle. And they ended up being stuck in the movement of breathing to both sides. They couldn't excel in their swimming because they weren't able to develop the proper stroke technique of breathing to their dominant side. Guys, the secret to skyrocketing your swim performance is actually finding a rhythm in your swimming. We're going to look at some tactics that you can implement in the water that can just skyrocket your swim performance, and that's because they're going to teach you how to have the perfect freestyle rhythm. To get that perfect freestyle rhythm, we need to go back to the basics. I'm here with my feet on the ground, pulling with one arm on the wall, just focusing on exhaling underneath the water, inhaling on top. And I'm here already trying to establish that rhythm, keeping things very under control, just breathing and putting that other arm back in front of me. We're going to transition to the kickboard and do the exact same thing, but this time we want to go somewhere. And you'll see underwater, it's just breathing and then putting that arm back where it belongs. Breathing and then extending with that one arm. We're going to add a kickboard in, and we're going to do exactly what we did before. Breathing to one side, grabbing the board, pull. Breathe to one side, grab the board, pull. It's just all about finding that rhythm. And you'll notice that just because I'm breathing to one side, I'm extending equally to both sides. We've got the board away now and doing the classic catch-up drill. And again, I just want you to pay attention to how just because I'm breathing to the one side, I'm still equally rotating to the other side. And this drill right here is the best for catching a freestyle rhythm. It's the basic drill to get us going. So you see, if you're new to swimming, don't worry about bilateral breathing here in the beginning. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, and it has its uses. But for right now, focus on breathing to your dominant side. Develop your swimming rhythm, and then just build on your freestyle stroke. Guys, swimming can become easy, it can become fun, and you definitely can do it. I'm Siska. Thanks for watching the video. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.